We're dealing with angle terminology with equations. Okay, we got angle A and B are supplementary. That means they have to add angle A plus angle B has to add to be how much for supplementary? Well, I think of supplementary and complementary as being related. Complementary comes first in the alphabet, that's the 90 degrees. Supplementary comes next in the alphabet, that's the 180 degrees. All right, so if angle A is this, and angle and M angle, oh, the measure of angle. So that's just, don't let that M tell you, just confuse you. It just means it's a number. And then they're asking you to find the measure of just the A. Okay. So I already got the initial equation. Supplementary means they add to be 180. I substitute in what A is equal to. So that's 5x plus 27 is angle A, plus angle B is 5x minus 7. Okay, and then these have to add up to be equal to how much? 180 degrees. Okay, so the parentheses don't affect anything in this problem. There's no negative signs. There's no anything out in front, nothing to distribute. So it's like the parentheses aren't even there. So I'll just go ahead and do straight combining. If there were something out in front, I would have to distribute it. In this case, it's like it's not even there. So the x's combine first. 5 and 5 make 10x. Positive 27 and negative 7 make a positive 20. All of this is still equal to 180. Reverse operations, minus 20, minus 20. 10x is equal to 160. Divide by 10, divide by 10. X is equal to 16. Are we done? Is x what they asked for? Be careful. Always reread the problem before you finish it off. They want angle A. So angle A is this one. That means I'm plugging in 16 for x. So angle A is equal to 5 times 16 plus 27. So 5 times 16, that's 50, plus 30 is 80, plus 27, which is equal to 107. And this problem is in terms of degrees. All right. Oh, well, actually, they want the measure, which would just be 107 would be the measure. All right. Anyway, 107, 107. Well, they didn't make any arithmetic errors, and doesn't seem like it. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and just examine the process they used and compare it. Measure of angle A and B have to add up to 180. That's what supplementary means. They drop the parentheses. Notice everything's exactly the same. It's like the parentheses aren't there initially. Combine like terms. X's, numbers combine. Reverse operations, get x by itself. Measure A is what they really want. Plugging 16 in, and exactly the same. All right. The next one, so this was a supplementary problem. There's complementary, so that, like I said, that just means they add up to be 90 degrees. Vertical angles, find the angle, vertical angles, solve for x only. Let's go ahead and move to vertical angles. All right. Do you remember what vertical means? So vertical, really important that you kind of just have some sort of bearing on it. Vertical means that when two lines cross, the angles across from each other are matching. So this angle and this angle match, and then this angle has to match with the one across from it, this angle. So those angles are called vertical. If we're talking about these two, the 2 dash and the 1 dash, that would be supplementary. They're on the same line. But across from each other, that's the vertical idea. Okay, so A and B are vertical angles. Okay, so I'll just call this A and I'll call this B. They're across from each other. That means they're equal to each other. It could be larger than 90. That would be the other case. But in this one, it doesn't really matter. We're just looking at the fact that they're equal to each other. That's what vertical implies. So angle A and angle B are vertical. That means angle A is equal to angle B. Okay. If measure of angle A is this, measure of angle B is this, find, that's what they're asking us to do here. Find what? The measure of angle A, which would be the same as B. But let's just go ahead and finish it off. Okay, so like I said, vertical means they're equal to each other. So 7x minus 20. So I already have that they're equal to each other. So I'd say this first, then this equals 6x minus 1. All right, then just solve for x. Put all our x's on one side. I try to keep it positive if I can. Not a big deal if you don't. Just one less step. Rewrite everything. Add 20. Add 20. X is equal to 19. Did they want X? No, they wanted angle A. I could plug it into each one because they're equal to each other, but just focus on the one that they're looking at. Don't make it any harder than it needs to be. So angle A is equal to 7, and then we're plugging in 19 for X. X is equal to 19. All right, 7 times 19 minus 20 is what we're trying to calculate. 7 times 19, my trick is I do the tens place and then I do the 9. So 7 times 10 is 70. 7 times 9 is 63. 70 plus 63 is 133 minus 20. 133 minus 20 is 113. That's what I get. All right, measure of angle A, 113. And let's just confirm all the steps are the same. Vertical angles mean they're equal. This is a really bad step. If you do your numbers first, you can make it harder than what it needs to be. I really encourage you put your letters to one side first. That way you know what side you're solving for. So once again, not a fan of this order, but it still works. Just might mean you have more steps following his advice. I did x's on one side first, then the numbers. He's doing numbers on one side, then the x's. Then find the measure of angle A. Once you have what x is equal to, plug it in, and answers are the same. So the problems are going to be very similar to both of these two. Just make sure you give them what they're asking for.